beautiful divine beings. Happy Gregorian New Year. As we all know, it's not really the new year. Well, maybe not as we all know, but if you know, you know that it's not our real New Year. It's just the Gregorian calendar New Year. But you can still celebrate it as a fresh start. And yesterday, I cleaned out a storage unit that has been weighing me down and keeping me circling a swamp for 6 months to a year. Little story time in my awakening spirit was like, walk away from everything. And I was like, how? And I didn't listen. I was holding on to so much, and realizing it's just stuff. And I've had a lot to process. And I'm not gonna lie, I'm still processing some of this emotion and knowing I feel it's still in my body, which is what I am eliminating. Acupuncture has been a great thing for me lately to get that out as well. Fascial release, exercise, movement. Your body is always telling you stuff. And yesterday while I was cleaning out this storage unit, literally my back and my knees, my lower body, like just were absolutely aching. And it was sacral chakra, brunt chakra, just me needing to purge the generational curse of hoarding and holding on to stuff that you don't need it all. And if it's meant for you, it'll come back to you when you're ready for it. And so I was just literally getting rid of so much stuff. I did get to the end of the day. I still have the back seat of my truck and the bed of the truck were full of, I still had bits, that it was kind of like I didn't get through all of that, but I also was not, some of it I wanted to keep because it's like art supplies and I'm going to make some stuff with it over the next few weeks, but there's still a lot to give away before I get on the road in a couple weeks, but it felt so good to get everything out of that storage unit and just be done with it. And now like all of the stuff that I have left is with me, like physically in a physical location where I can take a little bit of time each day to work through it. And that's what we can do for ourselves, right? Is to give ourselves a little bit of time every day to work through something. And it feels like I'm coming home. It feels really great. It feels really great. So I was just talking about what it feels like to come home and this generational curse of hoarding. And I actually, story time. But, gosh, so much. As within, so without. So my family not only has had a history of hoarding possessions, but hoarding feelings. And there's a big old bird flying above, hiding those feelings. And obesity and diabetes is a big issue, which is actually all related to blocks in the heart chakra and not feeling enough love and not loving yourself enough and not having a stable space of support of unconditional love. And that is where a lot of it comes from. And it stems from having to perform for love. It comes from being in families that were so big that children don't feel like they get enough attention or don't feel like they get enough support. Or, you know, what I saw in my grandparents in particular is they both came from such big families that they really had to help take care of their brothers and sisters because their parents were so overworked, busy, overstimulated. And we also didn't talk about anything. You didn't talk about feelings. You didn't talk about emotions. It was just kind of like you just had to bite the bullet and do whatever. And no one was given any space to feel anything. And when you hold all of that inside, it actually manifests as disease and illness. And a lot of that overeating and the obesity and the diabetes, like the sugar addiction, comes from parasites. And the sugar is related to, again, the self-love. And it is one of the things that I, as a generational curse breaker, have really struggled in the past with letting go of. I was also hoarding stuff too and had more than I needed. And gosh, the excess that we all hold on to in America, it's like the American dream is to literally have more than you need. How inaccurate is that when it creates just this gap in our wealth structure? Like, we have people that have so much, way more than they need, and they just hold on to it. And then we have people who literally have nowhere to live, have no food, are like, I met this family this summer that was literally living on a campground until it closed. They had multiple tents set up. They had like just a whole system set up where that's where they were living, the whole family. And, you know, I think about the days where it's like looking in our kitchens, like even me after I had kids, even before I had kids, like we had so much stuff in our kitchen that we actually didn't need at the time. And that like begs the question of why are we holding on to all of this stuff? And, you know, I'm asking myself the same question right now. The bins that I have in the back of my truck, the stuff that's in this Airbnb that I'm in, that I'm going through to get rid of, like, why do I need all this stuff right now? And I'm like holding on to some of it going, oh, because it's art supplies and I want to make something with it. Well, are you making anything with it right now? Or shall we give it to somebody who's going to utilize it right now? And it's one of those moments where a part of my spiritual gift is to be able to step back and see from the bird's eye view and look at the inner representation and the outer representation. And it's like that scarcity mentality. You're scared of not having enough, so you hold on to too much and don't let it go. And we're in that phase of like, we just have to let stuff go. We have to start letting stuff go. And start taking care of yourself and doing for yourself. And if you are not taking care of you, you can't take care of anybody else. And that again is part of what is off in America these days. Like, we put this pressure on people to perform and to, especially moms. That's where my personal experience comes from, in this human experience and everything I've been working through the last year, everything that I get to work through, is the pressure that we put on people to do everything, to hold everything, to carry everyone with no support. And it's not meant to be that way. It's done on purpose so that you're separated from loving yourself, so that you're separated from caring yourself. Self-care is not selfish. It is necessary in order for you to be able to live And this life is for living. This life is absolutely for living. That's what we're here to do. And the only moment that we have that we know is happening is the one that we're in right now. And you get to decide what you're going to do with it. So live it. Enjoy it. Follow your highest joy. And that will take you where you need to go. Where you want to go. Where you're supposed to go. That's my advice. Right now I'm going snowboarding. On the first day of this new year, I haven't been in years. And it's something that I have always wanted to become better at and didn't put the time into. And it felt like there were so many different things getting in my way. And stopping me from being able to enjoy it. Part of it was my own self-doubt. So I decided to take myself snowboarding today. That's where I'm going. I know my body is going to be sore afterwards because I'm going to be using muscles I haven't used in a while. And that is okay. I'm going to enjoy every bit of it. It's that hurt so good. I'm excited for that hurt so good to come through. Come on, baby, make it hurt so good. Sometimes love don't feel like it should. Hurt so good. Na 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 na. Okay. Enjoy your day. Happy Gregorian New Year, and I will see you later. Hi, story time. You want a little tea time? I just finished drinking my mushroom coffee. Should I feel like I kind of want to stop and get a hot tea before I make it to the mountain. I'm going snowboarding. Join me as I go snowboarding for the first time in 5, 6, 7 years. And the first time I went, I was such a mess. My friend and I took a lesson, and the guy made it look so easy, and he's just like, yeah, just turn with your knee. And we're like, okay. And we were all over the place. We went full in. We had purchased boards, boots, bindings, all of it. And we were like, no, this is something we're going to do like all the time. So we're going to buy it, which honestly, for the number of times I've been and used it, I would have spent more on rentals the whole time anyway. And I'm wondering how it's going to do. It's in the backseat. I haven't been in 7 years, and should I get it waxed? The first time I went was 12 years ago, maybe. And I, by the end of the weekend, was literally black and blue, covered in bruises, my elbows, my knees, just from falling over and over and over again. I had a hematoma on my butt cheek the size of a golf ball because I fell directly on ice, and I actually fractured my tailbone that weekend and didn't realize it. And there's so much now that I understand, understanding energy more and coming into awakening and earth angelhood. I am like, oh, the as within, so without, as above, so below. I kept thinking it was hard. I had myself in this fear-based existence. The balance was like so off for me. And I actually have found out in my ayahuasca ceremony that I died in a past life on a hoverboard. I fell off a hoverboard on another planet. I haven't tapped into which planet it was. Serious. And that's why, like, the feeling of surrendering to the motion of, like, leaning into it was so scary for me, because I was holding that memory in my tissue. And I also had other people helping me. That was a weekend where my now ex-husband and I, it's like he wasn't interested in me, but I was like pushing with him. It was just one of those scenarios where, again, because of the way I grew up, because of the psychological programming, because of like being excited at every little bit of male attention that I got, was pursuing someone who wasn't right for me. And I had physical relationships with him, intimate relationships with him. Well, I'm going to say sexual relationships, because they weren't real intimacy. And his energy was leeching off of me. I was taking in his negative energy, and he was leeching off my good energy. And that was part of the reason I kept falling. Right? And but I remember that weekend. Let's talk about the way things smell. We'll do this as a separate video too. The way things smell are an actual indication to you of the that person's are they open? Willingness to take care of themselves, and as well as their energy field. So if someone like smells bad to you, that is your body telling you, not good for you. If someone just naturally smells good to you, if you're like, oh, you smell delightful. Now you got to be careful with all the colognes that people put on to mask, but also like natural pheromones, like certain colognes smell different on different people. Because I would buy cologne for my ex that, yeah, he smelled great when he covered himself in cologne, but his like natural scent was, I regularly was like, what is that smell? And I was consistently told, like, stop. You just want to talk bad about me. Stop making me feel bad. Stop, saying I stink. There's nothing wrong with me. And it's like, no, he really did smell. Like his feet smelled all the time. And it's because he was also dehydrated. And I experienced this in my life as well. When you're dehydrated, and it's the way like your kidneys store things, and you're flushing stuff, like you are releasing ammonia in your through your sweat. Like if you're releasing a certain amount, you can only hold a certain amount in your organs for so long, and if you are dehydrated and you're not urinating enough, not going to the bathroom enough, your body has to find a way to eliminate those other toxins. So it's going to eliminate them through perspiration and sweat, and a lot of times it's going to let them go through your feet, because your feet are in shoes all day long and sweating. And it comes down to your root chakra as well. Like you're not taking care of the roots. And like, don't be in a relationship with somebody that doesn't groom themselves, that doesn't take showers, that doesn't brush their teeth, that doesn't, like, those are indications not only of disrespect for their own temple, it's a lack of self-love, and it is a disconnection from source, and it's also a sign of depression. And big old hawk flying over right now. It's also a sign of depression. So those are times when, like, not that I'm saying, because I've struggled with depression in my life as well, that you can't help people that are depressed, but actively going into a relationship with somebody that is like visibly depressed and having issues. And I say having issues like not in a judgmental way. It means there's a lack of self-love. It means there's a lack of authenticity. It means there's a lack of care being put into themselves. And so if you're with somebody that's not going to care for themselves, how do you think they're going to care about you? Do you think they're going to take care of you if they won't take care of themselves? Nope. Sure not. And I listened to this woman explain it in such a great way the other day of, if you love yourself 30%, Somebody comes along that loves you 40%, and you're going to think that's love. And it's not. But if you love yourself 100%, you can't be fooled by people that don't love you all the way. You hear me? You can't be fooled by people that don't love you all the way when you love yourself 100%. So, when somebody is smelly because they have like regular body odor, and now don't get me wrong, every once in a while we have body odor because we're also releasing toxins. It's also your body's like mechanism of protecting itself. Think of like a skunk when there's danger around and they let off a bad smell to chase off the predators. A lot of times that's what our bodies do as well. When it senses danger, it's letting off a particular scent to ward people off. So it's like, don't come near me. And I realized, but there's a difference between that scent and the scent of I'm simply not taking care of myself. You can smell it. It's like a, I don't know, like a musty, like a musty kind of smell. And if you're around somebody that isn't taking care of their temple, you're gonna know it. And your body's telling you all the time. Your nose knows before the rest of you is aware of what's going on. So pay attention to that. And ladies, don't be in relationships with people who physically don't take care of themselves. What was I listening to the other day about from the Book of Solomon, where it talks about how a husband who cares about taking care of himself for his wife, cares about being attractive to her, cares about smelling nice for her, about looking nice for her, about taking care of his temple for her, so that he is an example of a godly man. Because Yeshua took care of his temple. Yeshua was a fit, athletic individual who cared about what he ate, cared about his physical fitness, cared about bathing regularly. And it's because he knew that our body is our temple, our body is our spiritual antenna, and our body is our direct connection to source. So your output depends on your input, right? It's also like the computer programming. Our brain is a computer, our body is an electromagnetic tool. And so the things that you are putting out into the world are affected by what you put into your brain, your body. And I'm talking not just food. I'm talking everything that you're consuming visually, orally, auditorially, like it all, physically, it all matters. And being with somebody that doesn't care about what they're consuming, it's going to affect their output. So there's my 2 cents, 11:44 on the timer, about being with somebody that takes care of themselves, because it's also a direct indication of how they're going to care for you. Okay. Love you. Take care of yourself. For a little inspirational truth telling. Who wants to hear some truth? Speaking my honest truth. Lighting this frankincense incense real quick while we do this. I have spent the last year, like so many other people, going through an insane Kundalini awakening. Into it like really full force and didn't know how to ground it, and ended up coming back into like really a state of a bit of psychosis. Not knowing how to ground it, not feeling safe in my own body, and struggling with anxiety and depression. And I was diagnosed with complex PTSD going into many of us that struggle with the trauma and don't realize necessarily that's what it's in, and we keep making these decisions based on the psychological conditioning that we've experienced, and then we get blamed for the decisions that we're making. And I've spent the last 6 months literally like swirling around this swamp, hoarding stuff, hoarding emotions, energy, not sharing my story, not sharing my light, and mostly out of like a state of lack, limitation, fear, healing the generational wounds of being burned at the stake for being honest about my spiritual gifts, about my psychic gifts, about the downloads that I was getting, about the extraterrestrial contact that I've had as far as channeling and downloads and messages, and I allowed that to drive me into really a state of depression and anxiety, and felt bad living for myself, and felt bad finding my highest joy, and felt scared doing those things. And going into this new year, this Gregorian New Year, I'm shedding those things that don't serve, and I know that the only moment we have is now, and following your highest joy and eliminating the fear, because we're safe. We're in, you know, the grand shift of human consciousness, but it's happening through us, and bringing our joy and being a light for others in the world is part of what our souls have agreed here to do, have agreed to come here to do. And it has been really, like, it was tough for me to get through that. It was tough for me to acknowledge, like, you're still holding on to too much, you're scattered, you're letting yourself live in a state of anxiety and depression. And I want others to know, like, getting out of the psychological programming, it's a challenge, and you have to commit yourself to it and create a ritual and a routine of taking care of yourself. And that is what I didn't allow myself to do, was create that ritual and take care of myself. I felt like I had to constantly be doing, but you really have to sit with yourself. And sitting with myself and realizing I've been my own worst enemy this entire time. Like, when you create something to be afraid of, like when you're afraid of something, you're creating something to be afraid of. And everything that you need is already within you. So, like, just know that it's okay to feel the feelings. You're meant to feel the feelings. You're here to have this human experience, to feel the feelings. And if you're not feeling the feelings, that means you're keeping it all bundled in, which is what many of us have been taught to do for a reason. Because when we keep it inside, it manifests as disease. It separates us from source. And then it affects us psychologically. We forget who we are. And we're just doing whatever everybody else tells us to do. Not what we're here for. Hi, I've got a message from Source for you. And it came through randomly because I just passed by this sign that says National Emergency Training Center. And it's like, tell them about this national emergency that we're in, that everybody has like turned a blind eye to. And then I passed a fire hydrant that was yellow and green. And this is one of the ways I get synchronicities, and through colors and how they line up with your chakras. And your yellow is your solar plexus and your green is your heart. And Spirit really came through heavily saying, hearts are blocked because the guts are blocked. Your solar plexus is being blocked, and our gut is our true center of thinking. That's our true brain, really. It sends the messages up to our brain. Our body is telling our brain what to do, not necessarily vice versa. And we have been manipulated into this existence of control and materialism and possessing things. What do they say about demons? Possessions, possessing things. And a lot of it has to do with sexual energy exchange through sex, and what religion in particular has done, and created this just culture of men who want to control people. I get this very, like, I hear the theme song from The Sopranos of this, like, very just like, men get to do what they want and they get to control what women are doing as well, and treating women like meat, like possessions. Like, they want you to look nice on the outside and they want you to do things that please them, but then once you are theirs, so to speak, they possess you, it turns into a, like, they don't want you to dress up because other people might look at you, or they don't want you to have ties to other people, and so that they can control you. And a lot of this also comes from eating meat. It's keeping our bodies dense, it's keeping our bodies heavy. It is, as they talk about in the Bible, there's the way of life and the way of death. And when you're consuming things and eating things, you can either eat living things that bring life and light into you, or you can consume dead things, dead flesh that takes you into a denser existence. And when animals are killed, their flesh holds the energy, the memory of what happened at their death. So when we're, like, mass slaughtering animals like we are now, that's what people are consuming. And all of that directly, because it's affecting erections, erectile dysfunction as well. When your heart chakra is blocked and your blood flow is off, it is contributing to the erectile dysfunction in men, as well as the power lines that are everywhere, that are messing with our electromagnetic frequency. And there's so much more to it as well. But your blood flow and is affected by what you're consuming as well. And if your heart isn't working properly, your blood's not flowing properly. And the intimacy issues in our couples these days between men and women are everybody's arguing. Nobody's, like, fully sexually satisfied because our sex has been inverted into something that is strictly for physical gratification, and not something that is a sacred energy exchange between two partners that truly love each other. So Spirit's coming through heavy with this. Like, we have a national emergency related to people not taking care of themselves, related to our gut health and the food that we're consuming that is poisoned as well, with all of the plastics, with all of the processed stuff. I mean, think about it as, it is, explain it that way too. As within, so without. If you're eating processed things, you are going to be processed. If you are consuming a bunch of television programming that is unhealthy, that is psychologically manipulating you, it's called programming for a reason. You're going to be programmed. So starting with cleansing our gut, cleansing our bodies, is going to be incredibly crucial to opening up our hearts, is what Spirit wants us to know. I think I'm supposed to turn there. Okay. Love you. Bye. Hi, get ready with me as I go snowboarding for the first time in 7 years. Let's see how this looks. And it's chilly. We are fearless. And you know, I have healed so much wound trauma since the last time I went snowboarding. All right. I am gonna have to rent boots though. I'm gonna have to rent some boots. The ones I had were too small. These boots are made for walking. That's just what they'll do. One of these days, these boots are gonna walk all over you. Ready, boots? Start walking. I am back in pants that I haven't worn since I was bodybuilding 10, 12 years ago. And changing what I ate because our food's poison. Taking care of myself and releasing trauma. Healing sexual womb trauma as well. And whew, we're gonna have some fun today. I got bells to clear energy. I burned some frankincense before we got here. I got some peppermint lip balm. What are we gonna take? Honey sticks, tea, a star, sun, a penny, my mom's ring, an earring, and a hair clip. Spirit always sends me signs, and these are all signs. And I'm grateful to be here today. I'm grateful to my spirit guides for being with me to get through what I've healed from my family line. Yeah. I'm really grateful. All right, we're gonna take some Palo Santo, some Neuro gum for focus, a shaker, some sunglasses, and I got a carnelian crystal in my bra. Welcome to the woo. Ooh, I have 2 different sunglasses. Which ones should I wear? I think we're gonna have to wear, I don't know if these are gonna fit with a helmet. I'm definitely wearing a helmet. I'm gonna need that helmet today. I forgot goggles. Well, I got my sunglasses. All right. Here we go. Oh, I forgot. We got to do a little fascia release. A couple areas. We're going to do some squats. We got to do squats. We got to stretch the glutes, the low back. They were all sore. I don't know how much charge I put on this camera. I was charging while we were driving, but apparently not. Let's go a little bit. Okay. Gloves. We're taking a hat just in case. Alright, so I'm trying on 2 different boots. We're trying on this, I don't even know what brand this is. Lidecker Sierra West. And a 32. The 32s are nice, but let's see how they feel. Whew, had that helmet on for a while. We're going to put it back on, and that we're trying these boots out. We put the black ones on. So we'll see how these feel for a few minutes while the board gets sharpened. And all of this, you know, there's messages in everything. I'm getting some new boots. New boots on my roots, new boots on my roots. Here we go, new boots on my roots. They feel good. But I'll tell you, fashion is an expression of just like who you are. Not focusing on materialism, but design, like what you're wearing, the colors, the vibration that goes with everything, the pattern, like it's all identity. And I love snowboard gear fashion right now. Here we go. It's a day of just enjoying. And the bears follow me everywhere. Like, be a mama bear that cares about taking care of yourself and having fun, and don't let yourself like lose everything. I haven't been since I got engaged, married, and had kids. And it shouldn't be that way. I see all these people here with their kids, all these people doing fun stuff. Like, that's how it should be with your kids. You should be out and active. I grew up in a family where my mom's favorite pastimes were drinking and smoking and reading a book in the pool. So we always went to the beach and the pool this summer, but we never got to do fun stuff like this. And I did ballet and was told I wasn't allowed to do this kind of stuff because I could get injured. And keeping our kids from doing like athletic things for fear of the way it's going to affect something else is the complete psychological programming that we've all been put through to just be afraid of everything. So we're not going to be afraid today. We're going to get the boots, we got the board sharpened, we're going to go out and have fun, and we're going to make this a regular activity because this is medicine. Okay, take care of yourself, do the stuff that you enjoy, do the stuff you've always wanted to do. Just do it. Love you. Live wild, free. Do it. Hey, we got boots. These boots are made for walking. I can't stop singing it. I got new boots on my roots. I got new boots on my roots. I got new boots on my roots. And they feel good. New boots on my roots. New boots on my roots. Okay. Oh, maybe a little bit more. Ooh, happy camper over there. Okay, so we're finally going. So I lost my debit card for a hot minute, and I was like, you know what? It's all right. We'll figure it out. We will. We'll figure it out, and not figure it out, but we'll just give it to God and say whatever was meant to happen. Whatever will be, will be. And it's also everything. Everything is a synchronicity and a message. There's no coincidences in literally everything. It's all related in some way or another. And that was a message from Spirit to me to like lock it up. Like, you got stuff that you want to take care of and it's in your pocket. Zip that shit up. Like, you protect the things that you take care of, and there's times where it's like you realize you're being too loosey-goosey with stuff. And man, I have gone through just ego death after over the last year. And I did learn, again, me twisting these boots up, you gotta twist your lady parts, your hips. Our motion, our movement is related to our kundalini, is related to our sexual energy, our chi, our prana, our life force. And if you're not moving, you're not activating it, especially in like a swirling motion with your hips. It's all in the hips. It's all in the hips. So move those hips, ladies. When we're too still, nothing's moving down there. So we got to keep the waters flowing. Yeah. And that's a part of the reason we all have emotional blocks and heart chakra blocks. Not we all, but especially our generational curse breakers. You hear me cranking these boots, but you gotta crank it. Like, you got to get motion. And I'm giving myself a lecture right now. Everything is a message to me as well. So Spirit's telling me, get those hips going, girl. Get those hips going, girl. Let's dance. Let's get on the snowboard. Let's have some fun. Let's dance. Zip that shit up. If it's important to you, take care of it. That was the message. Zip that shit up. If it's important to you, take care of it. That's the message from Spirit today. The other message today. The other message here, bear with me here, we're bearing the truth. The other message here is, shit, I lost it.
Right here.
What was that kind of message?
That's for little kids out.
Bugs. Watch the bugs. Don't let the bugs go. When you get bugs going. Okay, we're at Liberty. We're finally getting on the slopes. It was a slow go. And okay, I actually really like that I just got interrupted because I got an email from Airbnb totally backing me up. The owner tried to tell me I couldn't stay anymore because I had a dog with me, and I explained that he was an emotional support animal, that I had complex PTSD. I was diagnosed with complex PTSD, and that Airbnb's policy doesn't allow you to charge me more or kick me out because I have a service animal with me. Now, the dog pooped while he was outside, and I didn't see it or clean it up, so my bad. He sent me a picture, and I was like, I will happily clean that up, thank you. But I'm not leaving. You can't kick me out. And I did reach out to Airbnb, and actually I didn't, but I said I would, and I guess he had submitted the picture of the poop and said that I couldn't stay, but then he sent me a message last night that's like, have a happy new year, everything's good, and now Airbnb is like, we want to know your perspective on this situation, and it's discrimination to kick you out because of your service animal. And there's so many synchronicities in this situation right now that I would like to bring to light related to my own human experience and the things happening in the world around us, just to like get people to think about what you're doing, especially to survivors of trauma, because there's a lot of people, and even today I talked with our service veteran, actually currently serving, but he had a really cool sticker on his helmet about the Valhalla project, and I asked him about it, and now I want to look into it because it is apparently a service for vets who have suicidal ideation or have been affected by suicide or have been diagnosed with any kind of mental health concern. And again, these mental health concerns are things that arise because we're trying to exist in a world that has made us look at horrible things or experience things that broke us open emotionally and made us very aware and sensitive to other things, but woke us up to who we are in truth and our actual abilities, and working that generational trauma, that experiential trauma out of your body is so important. And that's why I'm snowboarding, because I'm working out stored energy in my body and having fun while I'm doing it. So this is exercise. This is the kind of stuff that we should be teaching our kids to do. This is the kind of stuff that creates healthy mind, healthy body, getting out in nature, being in touch with the land, the snow, breathing, breath work, focus, like exercising your muscles. This is all the stuff I didn't get taught as a kid. And I want to do it differently. And I want to get over my own false evidence appearing real, moving the energy through my body that's holding me back. So that's what we're here doing today. And that really was a huge tangent from me losing my debit card to getting it turned in, to Airbnb supporting me and having my back, because there's a lot of times in my life where people haven't had my back, especially when it comes to mental health diagnoses. And that is a big thing that's near and dear to my heart, is how we're treating people, the divide, the gap in attention that they should be getting and be provided versus what's actually happening in this world. So just some food for thought. Okay, And that's a whole nother thing because it's so related to what we're eating and what we're putting in our gut. Because you can't think if you're putting crap in your gut. Duh. All right, I'll see you after snowboarding. Okay, bye. I'm turning my phone off for a little bit. Hey, I'm on my third run, and I'm in love. There used to be so much stress in this, and I've already done more today than I think I did. Maybe for the last time I went years ago. Maybe not quite that much, but I relaxed into it so much more than I ever have in the past. And it is again, such a, everything's a synchronicity, a message from spirit. Look at that moon. Happy moon. Yeah, this is fun. It wasn't this much fun before. I love it.
I don't know. Your mom was really cautious and slow. There they are.
Uh-oh. Oh. Falling, 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 falling. Falling, falling, falling. Oh, I made it through without having to stop or falling. Falling, 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 falling. Falling, falling. Don't be scared of that front foot. Come on. I gotta get in a spot real quick. Look at that flip. I'm gonna do a little holding the photo. Okay, I just recorded this whole video and didn't actually record it. So here we are again. Happy second day of this Gregorian New Year. Even though we're still in winter, we're honoring this as a new year. Yesterday I did something for me, something I've been scared of doing for a long time, which was go snowboarding again. And I got some new boots, so I'll go regularly. I got my board tuned up, and I did so many runs. I was so proud of myself. And yeah, I fell, but I got back up and I kept going. In the past, I would have just literally given up. And my big 4 takeaways from yesterday were, again, this is number 1 reminder, nothing is a coincidence. The universe is always showing you, because it's energetic. What you're putting out is what you're getting back in. So your external is a reflection of your internal. And what's happening outside of you is happening within you as well. Number 2, lead from the hips when you are switching around on that mountain and getting cozy into it, which again is that activating your sacral chakra, activating your creative energy, activating your divine feminine, all stems from the hips. Number 3 is commit. Commit to the direction that you're going in. Feel it and do it. Like when you're wavering in that limbo in between is when you catch an edge and you fall. And that was really a big one. It was really a big one. And number 4 is everybody falls. Everybody falls. 144 on the timer when I said that. Everybody falls down. It's about how you get back up. I was watching all the people in the park and in like who've been doing this forever, and they all fall. And you just get back up. I actually laughed multiple times when I fell, and I had fun with it. In the past, I would have gotten so frustrated and so mad and been like kicking and stomping and having a tantrum. And this time I got up and I kept going. That's what we're doing this year. No matter what, we just get up and we keep going. And we bring our authentic light into the world, because that is what we are here for. And that is the divine feminine rising. That is the Magdalene codes waking up inside of all of us to use your authentic voice and use your authentic light. Okay? All right, now I'm going to a piano lesson. Love you. Bye.